Hey there. So, I wanted to chat with you about this cool thing I've been learning about, how to protect your Azure Virtual Desktop deployment with Azure Firewall. I know, it sounds super techy, but trust me, it's actually pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it, and I promise to make it sound like we're just hanging out and sharing info. You see, Azure Virtual Desktop, or AVD for short, is this neat platform by Microsoft that lets us create virtual desktops and run remote apps. It's like having your high-performance computing power and flexibility that you can manage with a tap on your screen. Pretty sweet, right? But here's the thing, without proper safeguards, your AVD could potentially be an open house for cyber threats. That's no fun for any of us, especially if we're dealing with sensitive data. So, let's buckle up and dive into some Azure Firewall, shall we? Azure Firewall is this awesome cloud-native service that acts like a bouncer for your AVD, ensuring only the good traffic gets in and out. Imagine it as a digital guardrail around your virtual world, ensuring everything runs smoothly. The Azure Firewall is like a smart, always-on sentinel that sits between the users and the rest of the world. It's constantly on its toes, checking every byte that tries to enter or exit against a set of protective rules that we set up ourselves. It doesn't just block bad guys, but it helps us understand our digital footprint and tweak our security posture as necessary. Okay, now that we are friends with firewalls and their importance in securing our virtual desktops, let's talk about the setup. Firstly, we are gonna deploy our AVD session hosts inside a virtual network. Think of this as our own digital bubble, where the users can happily float around. Now, the Azure Firewall is either going to take a ride inside this network or it's going to hang out in a dedicated subnet. Either way, it's like deciding who's got a direct line to the bouncer. Once we've got everything set up, the real fun begins. Crafting those rules the Azure Firewall needs. We're talking about policies that decide what's going into and out, like access controls, bandwidth limits, and even specific IP exclusions. Now, get ready to become the bouncer. Setting this up is crucial, but fun, alright? But what happens when things don't go as planned? Let's not forget, troubleshooting is as much a part of the job as building the fences. We're dealing with two main traffic types, outbound, which is where our user traffic is bound for the world, and inbound, which is the other way around. Now, Azure Firewall's cool because it can work with Azure Security Center. We can catch these outbound connections in the act and make it hard for anything dodgy to sneak by. Troubleshooting goes beyond the usual ping and traceroutes. It involves diving into firewall logs, monitoring for unwanted traffic, and sometimes having to roll back policies that might have inadvertently closed the doors on good traffic. This is where we learn from our mistakes and become better at keeping our digital homes safe. Now, let's not forget about the big kids, enterprise configurations. This isn't just about securing our desktops with fancy rules. We're talking about things like role-based access controls, threat intelligence integration, and network traffic analysis. These aren't just toys to impress our bosses, they're essential for keeping our corporate data and resources safe. Okay, let's not forget, we don't want to be stuck in a bubble without help. That's where Azure's built-in templates and automations can play their part, allowing us to standardize and streamline our security measures. Think of it as having a boss in the network who doesn't micromanage but makes sure everything is always on point. Through all of this, best practices are our guide stars. Keeping things consistent, not overcomplicating security measures, and staying updated with the latest threats and Azure updates. These aren't just tips, they are commandments to secure our virtual domains. Now, I'm going to tell you about some edge cases and gotchas. Sometimes, you'll find that your security measures become too much of a fortress, becoming a hindrance to legitimate traffic or even a resource sinkhole. Other times, being too loose can invite threats right through the door. Balancing tight yet not overly restrictive rules is a delicate dance, a constant performance for optimal security and user experience. And the cherry on top. There are always new updates and enhancements to the Azure Firewall. Staying nimble and ready to integrate them is part of our continuous quest to safeguard our digital lives and keep ahead. So, after all of this talk, my dear virtual world protector, I think we've armed ourselves with knowledge and the ability to secure our AVD deployments like never before. It's an ongoing battle, but with tools like Azure Firewall in our backpack and Azure Active Directory and Application Security Suite as trusted allies, we are set to stand tall. Remember, if you want to keep up with the newest trends in securing your AVD, give it up for me. I'll check out Neeraj's blog, ZZZ, and follow TechLab religiously for our tech chats and updates. Hit the play button and let's keep our virtual worlds safe together. Let bon sorry et take care of your digital domains. Until we chat again, always look sharp in your cyber armor.